Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to part 4 of the DCS P-51 Mustangs tutorial. In this episode, I will try to explain and demonstrate weapons employment options in the air-to-air and air-to-ground role in the P-51 Mustang. The Mustang has 650 caliber machine guns as its primary weapon. It can also carry 10 HVAR 127mm rockets. Alternatively, it can carry two AN M64 500-pound general-purpose bombs. A combination of 6 HVAR rockets and two AN M64 500-pound bombs can also be carried. However, that will not permit you to carry a full tank of fuel, as it will make the aircraft overweight. So, at the moment, I'm in the NTTR map, Nevada, and I have set some targets over there to the right, just 10 to 15 clicks from Creech Air Force Base. Shortly we're going to take off and attempt to do some gun runs, rocket runs, as well as some dive bombing on those targets. But before I do that, I'm going to go through the weapon systems here on the ground so I can show you how they work. So let's get into the tutorial. As I said, the primary weapon of the P-51 Mustang is the 650 caliber machine guns that it has. 3 on the left wing and 3 on the right wing. In order for you to be able to aim those machine guns, you need to use this gun sight, the K14 gun sight. The K14 gun sight, as well as the guns, can be turned on from this switch right here. At the moment, it's on the off position. If you click it down, it will turn on the camera, gun camera, as well as the gun sight, but not the guns themselves. If you click it up, it will turn on the guns, the gun sight, as well as the camera. So for now, let's put it just into camera and sight first. The gun sight itself can be controlled from this panel right here. The gun sight reticle has 3 options: fixed and gyro only. This button here turns on and off the gyro motor, and this controls the brightness of the gun sight. We can make it dim, we can make it brighter, like that. So in the fixed position, you have a crosshair and a circle. You can mask that circle with this lever over here to the left of the gun sight. Now usually in the air to ground mode, you would use the fixed gun sight. The second option is a fixed and a gyro reticle. And the third option is the gyro option. This configuration is used for air-to-air engagements, as the gyroscope allows for lead calculations. It allows the sight to be independent of the movement of the aircraft. Now, as you see with the gyro reticle, it consists of a central dot as well as 6 diamonds. At the front of the gun sight, you can dial in the wingspan of the aircraft that you're attacking. For instance, a BF-109 K4 is around 31 feet. It has a 31 feet wingspan. And over here, on this switch, on this dial over here, you can set the range to the aircraft. You can do that with the twist grip on the throttle here. You can map it to a button or a switch on your HOTAS. Now, as you can see, I'm moving it. The closest range is 600 feet, and the furthest range is 2,400 feet. Now, the aim of this gyro gun sight is for you to line up the aircraft dead center with that central dot and keep its wings within the inner circle formed by the inner tip of those diamonds. So imagine there's a circle formed around the bottom of these diamonds. You want to keep the wingspan of the aircraft within that, and you want to keep this dot on the middle of the aircraft. And of course, as you approach the aircraft, it becomes bigger. So you're going to have to compensate with the throttle twist grip to give the aircraft, give the gun sight rather, an accurate distance, so it can give you a proper lead. Now, for targets that are closer than 600 feet, you do not need to use this function. And it's always recommended to turn off the gyro motor and set it to fixed when you're taking off and landing and when you're not using it. So let's go ahead and explain the other weapon systems. Now, for rockets, the panel is over here. If you want to use rockets, you click this button up into rocket position. And down here in the rocket panel, you can select either single or auto. What this means is that how many rockets do you want it to be released with each press of the rocket and bomb release button. In single, each time you press the release switch, it will fire a single rocket. In auto, it will continue to release rockets as long as you have the button held down. And also over here, this button here dictates the number of rocket, which station of the rockets to be fired first. So if you want the first rocket station to be fired first, you just go for first, and so on and so forth. And over here, this switch is related to the fuse of the rocket. Whether you want it to explode on impact, you keep it on instantaneous, or you want it to be delayed, you can choose delay. Normally it's kept on instantaneous. And for using rockets, it is always recommended to use the fixed gun sight. Now, as I mentioned, this aircraft can also carry two 500-pound bombs. Now, if you want to utilize the bombs, you will take this rocket bomb switch and position it in either both or train. Now, what does that mean is that if you have the switch in both, with each press of the button, both bombs are released from both pylons. If you have it in train, only one bomb is dropped at a time with each press. And usually it is the left pylon that is released first. And over here, with these two buttons labeled left and right, currently it's in the off position. You have to move them to the arm position if you want the bombs to explode when they impact the ground. And for now, you can ignore the chem release as it is not functional in DCS at the moment. So that's about it for the weapon systems. I'll just take off now and head over to targets to show you how to use them. See you then. So welcome back, guys. We're currently at 9,500 feet, around 10 kilometers away from Creech Air Force Base. We're flying overhead those targets that I mentioned before. Now, for this scenario, I have given my aircraft unlimited amount of ammunition and ordnance, just so that I can demonstrate the various different weapon systems as accurately as I can. So the targets that I've placed are over there. A column of trucks and tanks on the road, as well as a radio tower and bunker, as you see over there. Now, I want to go ahead and do a rocket run first. So I'm going to go to my rocket panel switch here and select rockets. And I want to select auto, and diffuse is an instantaneous. Now for rocket runs in the P-51 Mustang, it is highly recommended that you do it from altitude and at a steep diving angle, because the rockets themselves don't have much energy. If you fire them from, let's say, a shallow angle, you'll need to give a lot of lead. So let's get ourselves situated for the rockets run. Obviously, before every dive in an aircraft, you want to control your speed so you don't plunge into the ground. So let's get ourselves situated. We'll do one more turn. I'm going to aim for the tanks at the head of the column with our rockets. And then we're going to finish off the trucks with our machine guns. What you want to do is you want to line up your reticle just in front of the target, and you want to let it drive up. You don't want to push it yourself. So let's line up. There we go. Somewhat accurate. Somewhat accurate. Now let's go and drop some bombs on that radio tower. We're going to select our bombs and go with the both option. And we also need to arm our left and right bomb so that they explode when they hit the ground. Normally a dive bombing attack is started from around between 8 to 10,000 feet. So that gives you plenty of time to dive, correct your aircraft, and then be able to pull out again. So you want to have sufficient altitude. I recommend around 8 to 10,000 feet for this aircraft. You also need to watch out for your speed. The slower you are, the better it will be. The faster you're moving, the less time you're going to have of pulling out of the dive. When you're approaching your target, you want to have your target to be off at an angle from your aircraft. You don't want to fly straight at the target. The reason for this is that you want to be able to see the target until the last moment when you begin your roll and dive. So we're almost at 8,000 feet now, and we can begin our dive onto the target. I'm going to put the throttle back. And release. Normally I release the bombs as soon as the target disappears. And good impact. Very accurate. We can do some battle damage assessment. And let's go for our gun run on the trucks. So we want to make our pylon safe. Our weapons are on. Gun heating is on. And I'm going to aim for the rear convoy of trucks just behind those tanks. I also want to ask you guys something. Do you guys want me to do a navigational tutorial in the P-51 Mustang as well? If you do, please let me know in the comments section below. Good hits. Looks like we damaged a couple of trucks. And that's about it, guys. Those are the 3 weapon systems that the P-51 Mustang has. The 650 caliber machine guns, the rockets, and the 500-pound bombs. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, and you learned something from it, please give it a like. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.